Hello and good afternoon. We are live today on this Wednesday afternoon. It is 12:12 p.m. Nice day. I got up this morning. It was raining. Now it's cloudy out. The sun look like it's coming out in the Bronx, New York. So welcome one, welcome all. I am your host, Bronx Girl. Yes, I've been missing in action. Sorry again, YouTube. Please, thank you for, just your support and sticking by my side. But I'm here today and I would like to just get the party started. I know that a lot of you may be doing your own thing, but if you are listening to me right here and right now, thank you for taking me along with you on your day or just on the go. However you are listening to me, I hope you are having a easy listening experience. Um, it's November. We are here in the holiday season. It's the holiday season, so I think it's safe for me to say happy holidays. And if it wasn't, I would say it anyway because I feel like that's just courtesy. Happy holidays, and I hope everyone is, given their circumstances, are planning a decent holiday for you and your family. So my well wishes are with you. It's been a while and I've been doing some things. I'm on TikTok and my name on TikTok is Bronx. I'm writing Bronx Girl Fly. I'm taking some notes while I do this live because I need some practice. I haven't been on this platform in a while. It's been hectic. But I'd still like to check in from here and there to let my community, my supporters, and especially Brave Hearts, let them know I am doing okay, and I hope you are too. So sit back and relax. This side, StreamYard, is kind of hard to monetize. I'll see if I can monetize it after I get off the live. But we're going to go on for like about, I think, an hour. I let it go for an hour, and then I'll log off and, let you go about the rest of your day. Yeah, but I was saying I'm on TikTok, and I'm under Bronx Girl Fly, where I consider myself like, I guess, the same here, but different format. But I do have props like mannequins. I dress them up, but I do also resell clothes. So that's another reason why I need all of my platforms to line up with the same messaging, but probably incorporate different, you know, just different topics in discussion and go about it a different way. But you'll see what I'm talking about if you go on Bronx Girl Fly coming soon. Yeah, coming soon, hopefully, with TikTok, I will be able to show you a different side of me on a different side and another side. But yeah, so I guess if you are listening, today's topic is male loneliness. Why are males so lonely? I'm pretty sure everyone have a great idea of why men are lonely. But today we're going to dig into it a little bit much more deeper as to why men are still lonely, becoming more lonelier. Listen, I know I stress the fact, but this is not my main concern about me not prioritizing men or me having a dislike or disdain towards men. Not all men. I know I do stress and make it known that, yeah, I do hate men, but not all men. Some men are unlovable. And the ones that are deemed unlovable are the ones that mostly are lonely. And they have every right to be lonely when you are living in a world and you were taught that your aesthetic as being a male man, that you have dominance and power over other human beings. And some males are coming to realize that men are coming to realize that that's not quite true. We've been lied to, we've been duped, we've been hoodwinked. We were lied to ever since we were born, thinking that we have this superiority over other human beings. And that of other human beings, when I speak, I'm talking and I mean women. Like I know that the beauty between a man and a woman is absolutely beautiful. There is a such thing as beauty between a man and a woman. But now we living in a world where that's not so much the case. And men are becoming more lonelier. They are more isolated. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give advice. I feel in this moment where I'm speaking about men and their loneliness is because, it should be thought about and spoke about from different angles, different perspectives, different point of view. And I don't have a problem with speaking from a different point of view, from my perspective and my insight, from my insight and my perspective. That's where I would be speaking from. Listen, I have stories upon stories about why men are lonely from personal experience, from observation, just from observing and seeing other men in their nature. When you observe a man in his real nature and he's thinking that he's, you know, wearing a mask, his mask seems to fall off really quickly when it comes to getting to know and watching a man and his nature. And when I say that, I mean, like some men, they feel like they could cover up who they are, mask behind. I mean, we all mask. I'm not sitting here saying that men are the only ones that mask and hide who they are. They don't have a reason to be brave enough or courageous enough to let the mask fall off, right? We all put our guards up and we all have reservations, but when it comes to men and them trying to prove a greater point about who they are and how they were raised and who they're supposed to be and who they want to be, that's a bigger and greater question. Men, I love the men that I love and I hate the men that I hate, but I'm not going around like because I have a certain hostility and not it's not anger, but a little bit of hostility towards men that are unlovable. I don't make that be known. First impressions, no. You would never know that I hate men unless, you sitting here and I'm speaking the truth or I'm saying something you don't like or I just say that. But by meeting me and meeting women, because there are some women that give off the aura, one might say, of hating men, but that's not me. I know how to treat everyone with respect all across the board. No one is special. Humans to me are not special, but in some particular moments and particular occasions, humans can be special. But when it comes to men and them being lonely, it's quite something that we should at least explore together. But one of the main reasons I personally feel that men are lonely and they will become even more lonelier is for the simple fact that men fail to change their way of thinking. Right? So if you're a man and you think that women that are not married, that don't have any attachments to any man, and you think this type of woman is not good for the world, then you're going to go around thinking that women are not good for the world because she's not married or she's single or she don't have any man or she just don't have any male figures. And you, the person that decide to put all of your concern in something that does not affect you in any way, shape, or form, you decide to give a lot of your, I guess people, I just don't, your energy to something that has nothing to do with you. And that affects you, right? So it's like, how could you have these whole certain types of beliefs about women or were taught certain types of beliefs about women and not expect to be disappointed when those beliefs and those assumptions are not true? If you're the type of man that think that women should not be free, if you're the type of man that think that women shouldn't have any rights, or if you're the type of man think women supposed to be covered up, or just be hidden away from the public. Of course, you're going to have some type of disdain and this hostility and anger and aggression towards women, because you are now coming to realize that this belief is not true. And I personally feel like, and all women should at least feel like this about men, is that a man that base women characteristics on his own beliefs that are not true, that are myths, that are made up, that, yeah, it should be a reason for them. And it is a reason for men, to be lonely when they hold a certain set of beliefs towards women that don't hold true. And men don't want to change their thinking, right? We're not going to sit here and put all men in the same box, but men put us in a box. They put women in a box. And women that think outside of the box are the ones that probably get it the worst, right? When it comes to men and women and how they perceive the world to be. Men don't want to change their way of thinking. They want to at least hold on to the theory that women are supposed to be less than them, or women are supposed to be not smart, or women are not supposed to think and make decisions for herself, or women are not supposed to be independent. She's supposed to solely rely on a man. And I'm just speaking about a man and woman from that aspect. There's no discrimination against, in this live chat, there are no prejudice against, well, of course I have some prejudice against men. If I say I don't like them or hate them, that could be seen as me being prejudiced against men, but not in a malicious way. But what I'm saying is, like, when men come to realize that women are human beings and we function and we move and we think and we have joy and happiness inside of us, and that we do have feelings and we do have emotions and we do have thoughts and we do have a loads of intelligence, that has nothing to do with the reflection of a man, and a man start to realize that women are beautiful. Not all women are, I'm talking about like generally women are beautiful, right? I have grown to the point where at an age that I won't ever like sit up here, get on this live, berate or degrade another woman. I mean, I have my hang-ups about women, right? But I'm not going to sit here and just call another woman ugly for the sake of trying to look good. No, I'm not going to ever do that. You won't hear me on this live calling any woman ugly. So that's why I said all women are beautiful, but not all women are pretty. But I don't care if they're not pretty at all, or how ugly they may be, right? I won't sit up here and try to destroy a woman's looks. But I do mean what I say when I say women are beautiful. Women are beautiful. It just depends on how beautiful she is to someone that's, outside of her beauty, how they perceive her to be, how they perceive her to look, how they decide what beautiful means and what beauty looks like. So that's what I mean by that. It's like when I say all women are beautiful, they are. We have it a little bit easier. We have a little bit access to a little bit improvement, to more improvement, and to build the quality of our beauty. It is granted to us. Men don't have that option, and they do have the option, but I guess they just don't look for it or know how to find it. But that's okay. But that's not the point. The point is that women are beautiful. Women are human beings. We as women know how to think for ourselves, know how to make our own decisions, know what we want and what we don't want, know what we can tolerate and what we won't tolerate, the things that we enjoy. Men don't have that capacity to understand that women, yes, we are different. Men and women are different, right? But in many ways we are different. But that does not mean that just because we are different, separated by gender, that we don't have the same functions men think can and women can think the same way. For instance, a man could see a beautiful woman and he approach a beautiful woman. He said, "Oh, I'm attracted to that beautiful woman. I don't know if she's with someone. How else would I know if I don't ask her or stop to ask her, right?" So there are men that would take that step and approach and that risk of getting to know some women. Those are the ones that's not lonely. And maybe they have their hiccups or maybe they are just horrible people, but those are the ones that at least try to get to know a woman until she figure him out. And but there are those men that are lonely inside of their homes, isolating, come home from work, they go to work, come back home. That's it. No outside, no exploration, no getting to know women, no approaching women, no trying to get to know women on a different level. They just are so stubborn because they hold their beliefs to a certain degree of standards that they're missing out. But to the man that is and willing to at least get to know a woman, he probably have more of a chance of not being lonely for the rest of his life, right? So men that are lonely, they have a certain way of thinking. And once a man changes his way of thinking, then I'm pretty sure that he would lessen his chances of being lonely or growing old and becoming lonely and just being by himself. You don't have to grow old and become lonely and die alone if you were to just rid yourself of those horrible beliefs that you have about women. If you were to just, yes, I am going there. I'm not teaching you. I'm guiding you to at least show you that your way of thinking is not realistic. If you were to view women in a way that you can see yourself, or do you view women as you see yourself and you projecting? You see a beautiful woman, and this is another thing that I have witnessed with men, why they are lonely and why they will remain lonely until they are at least acknowledged that women have freedom. Women can glide as freely as she want to, glide freely and lightly as she want to, do what she want to do when she want to do it, however she want to do it, when she want to do it, with whomever she want to do it. See, men put their focus on the wrong things when it comes to women. That's why they are so lonely. They automatically assume that if a woman has all these things granted to her or given to her without hard work, that she's special and that they should receive the same treatment. But women, when I say, and men, think probably differently in most ways. And there are women that isolate themselves and deprive themselves and punish themselves for the sake of not having a man, and that's horrible too, because if men are lonely, then women are lonely too, and they will remain lonely until they, come to the realization that we live in a world where you have to socialize. So the man that goes home every single day after work, straight home from work, that don't have a social life, that do not make any social connections, yes, you are going to remain lonely. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be that way all the time, forever, right? So if you're the type of man that's staying home, depriving yourself, punishing yourself, isolating yourself because you don't want to lift your beliefs from the notion that women are human, and they are human, but you don't want to acknowledge them as being human, then yeah, you definitely will be quite lonely. If you are the man if you are a man that view women as women that should not have the freedom to glide as freely as she want to, and that she do have a place in the home, and her place should remain in the home, and she should have no social life. She shouldn't have no type of creativity, or she should not embrace her being a human. You definitely will be lonely forever. and ever males, right? I found and I see that men have this superiority, dominance, or at least think they are superior over women. And when their fantasy is crushed, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's another problem with men that will be lonely forever. Some men just don't know how to separate reality from fantasy. It's okay to fantasize about a woman, lust over another woman, have feelings for another woman, fantasize about her in this way where it's just your fantasy and your fantasy alone. But when you put that fantasy and think it is a reality, then your perception is all twisted and corrupt, and it gets a little bit distorted. Your thoughts become corrupt and your perception becomes distorted. Right now, I'm not sitting here trying to like make it seem like men are the main reason why women don't want to be bothered. Some women, like myself, like to be free. I don't want, and I've known this for a long time, that I don't want to be in a relationship no time soon. Cause I don't want to like give up who I am just to please and satisfy the nature of a man, and he think because he's a man that he should have it easy, and that I should let him have it easy and give him, like, I'm not granting any man any peace anytime soon. That's not our job as women, is to grant men peace, right? That's another reason why I guess I'll be single, but that's not like something that I'm checking off my list. Another reason why men are lonely is for the simple fact that they think that women owes them loyalty. Like, no one owes you any loyalty. And when I say loyalty for men, I mean they way of thinking about loyalty and gaining loyalty from a woman is based on her obedience. So men will say something of the sort, like, you know what, let me write this down. Hold on. So, because, sometimes you write stuff down and, you write your thoughts down on a piece of paper, and boom, 20 years later, you could turn it into a book, a best-selling book. I'm just saying that's the reason why some people, journaling is hard for a lot of people, but, journaling is good, or writing things down that come to your mind. And you put it all together, now you have a best-selling book. But with men, when they tell a woman, and women but fall for this bullshit all the time, every single time, it's like a form of manipulation and gaslighting, so to speak, if we're going to use that word. When men say, oh, I want a loyal woman, he means obedience. When men say they want respect from a woman, they are talking about obedience. And if women get these two things down packed, like 1 and 2, loyalty and respect, it equals obedience, right? When men say they want to lead and they want to, without leadership skills, men want to lead, but they lack leadership skills and the qualities of a leader, they only are talking about obedience. So loyalty, when they say loyalty and respect and leadership, they want to lead. The only thing they are referring to and the only thing they mean is they want a woman to be obedient. They're not talking about in a way where, oh, I want her to be faithful to me and only me. No, they're talking about, like, if they were to stray, if they were to cheat, if they were to do something that can completely sabotage your relationship, your place as a woman is to be loyal and to accept any and everything that he do without question, but forgiven. There are some women who's willing to take that chance to save and keep a man. And there are women like myself and many others that are not going to pledge loyalty to any man. You shouldn't have to, right? Because things change. Like, if we are in a relationship and we have a little bit of rules, like no cheating, don't keep things away from each other that we should know that would not hurt or harm one another. Yeah. But for a man thinking, and this is why I said men should change their thinking in more than one way, is when it comes to women and how they view them and their expectations of women. Like their expectations are really high of women, and women fail at meeting these men expectations is because the men have a way of confusing women when it comes to telling women what they want. So they use these words like, oh, I want a loyal woman, obedient. I want a respectful woman, obedient. I want to lead, obedient. I want peace, obedient, because men don't like to be challenged. They don't like to be questioned. They don't like their manhood to be threatened. They don't want to feel like they shrinking. They don't want to feel like you have so-called quote unquote emasculate them, but they'll do any and everything to put up this show about who they want you to think they are, and they hide it really well. What women fail to realize, and why men will be lonely forever if they don't have no intentions of changing the way they think. I mean, if you change the way you think, then you change a little bit of who you are, and it could be rewarding and it could be progressive. It can be really like rewarding if men were to decide today that I'm going to change my way of thinking about women. I'm going to change my way of viewing women. I'm going to change my way of perceiving women other than them being human. I'm going to perceive and look at women as human beings that they are. And maybe I will have a chance with a woman that I desire. But that's not going to happen as long as a man find a woman who is confused about his expectations, right? Men have all these expectations of women that women seem to get confused by, which there are expectations, men, that you have of women that you would like to at least, I guess, feel that these expectations are reasonable, but you're not open and honest. You don't keep it 100. You just use words where women feel like that's enticing and intriguing and that you are serious. So you use words like loyalty, respect, lead, oh, and peace, and that you want peace. But if you were to be honest with a woman, like very honest with a woman, open and honest, and were to tell a woman like, yo, I want my women loyal, and I mean, I need you to obey everything I say. I don't need you to question me. I don't need you to challenge me. I don't need you to doubt what I'm saying. I need you to at least support everything I'm saying. If men were to be honest with women like this, direct, I bet you they would never meet a woman again. A woman wouldn't even take it that far, because now you being open and honest and you not sugarcoating anything. You don't have to beat around the bush, because you have the opportunity to say what you want to say. But men, when you bring this to their attention, like, yo, you need to be open and honest. You need to be a little bit more direct. And they'll lie and say something like, oh, no, but women want honesty, but they can't handle it. But you're not honest with women. You're not honest with yourself. Because respect does not mean obedience. Respect should be both ways. Like, you should value and honor a woman's opinion, just like you want her to value and honor your opinion. The difference is and why men will be lonely and continue to be lonely, is because of their fantasies. Can you imagine being a man and you meet a woman and you kicking things off, and now you are getting to the more important stuff. You getting to know each other, and you telling her what you want. She's telling you what she want. But now she said, "Yo, listen, hey, be honest with me. I'm listening. Just say what you need to say." And he come out and say, I'm looking for a girl. I want a girl. I do want to be in a relationship, but I do have a fear that of women that are not loyal and not respectful and don't bring me peace, and I want to lead. And then the woman say, well, listen, those things don't seem too complicated or too hard to follow, you know, loyalty. I'm loyal. I don't cheat, right? Or respect. I respect you because you are human and we will have disagreements, but we don't, just because we have disagreements, that does not mean that we have to go at each other's throat and we have to lose respect for one another. That's respect. Lord, I mean, lead. Listen, we both can lead. You can lead, but I will, and this is the man, this is a woman responding to a man like, listen, I don't have a problem with you leading and you respect my leadership skills. I respect yours. But if you were to take us off of cliff, I'm going to let you fall off that cliff by yourself. And because you wanted to lead and we're about to fall off a cliff, and I don't want you to think that me following your lead that I will fall off a cliff with you. I'm just going to kick you off the cliff, and I'm going to make sure that you fall off the cliff by yourself. I'm not going to have any part of this, right? Men say they want peace. Oh, you want peace? And of course, we all should lessen the chaos and confusion. Some relationships do need a little bit chaos and confusion just to bring up our awareness. This is what you want: peace. I want all those things too. It's like, why do you want these things from me, but you don't reciprocate loyalty, respect, leadership, peace? Because your definition of these things are totally different from my definition of these things. All of these things that men want from women, it all boils down to them wanting a obedient woman. And this is why men will remain lonely forever. This is why men will at least fail to see that they are part of the problem and that they refuse to rectify or at least compromise or at least meet the woman halfway, because they are too good to admit that their expectations and that their fantasies don't meet reality, right? And then the woman that comes along and fall for these tactics that men implement, and they maneuver in many ways against women, and women seem to find out too late about what the man really wanted because he wasn't honest with them. If men were to be more open and honest and direct and clear and concise and what they want, then a lot of women will not be with you. So what you do is you use dirty tactics and to employ the things that you want by misleading the woman and making her believe that these things that you want, loyalty, respect, leadership, and peace, are, realistic. And they're not realistic. It's like just a form of you telling a woman that you want her and you expect her to obey you with loyalty, respect, leadership, and peace. That's all it means, is obedience, because a lot of men are very weak. I'm just going to say all men are weak, right? Some men don't stay weak, but a lot of men are weak. And a lot of women don't want to play on that man weakness, and the man don't want that woman to play on his weakness. So he has this tactic that he uses as if his masculinity is going to at least account for what he wants and what he's hiding, right? Masculinity is just a mask for a weak man. Now, a weak man is the one that's going to remain lonely forever and isolated forever by himself, because he don't want to change his way of thinking. He don't want to know the outcome of the situation. He don't want to take a risk. He doesn't know when to make a right decision based on how he feel. So he's going to hide this from that woman and mask it with masculinity under the impression of obedience. And a lot of women fall for these tactics, that especially the loyalty, when a man say, oh, I want a loyal woman. I mean, of course you want a loyal woman. The woman want a loyal man. But when your loyalty comes in the form of, listen, I could do whatever I want to do. I don't care if I hurt you or harm you. I don't have no respect for you. I embarrass you. But you still should accept me for who I am as a man because you pledge your loyalty. That's where the problem comes in at. So, men, you're going to have to look forward to being rejected on all levels. And I'm here to at least show men that women are capable of rejecting you and still treating you with decency and respect. No love lost. If you reject a woman and she rejects you, no love lost should be lost. Everyone should still be respectful towards one another. But with men, you're going to find out the hard way when it comes to like women just rejecting you. Like, no, I'm not loyal. I'm not respectful. I don't want you to lead, and I don't want to grant you peace. So if a man were to hear this from a woman up close and personal, direct, live and direct, he will be his ego will be really, really bruised. He will be really, really hurt. He will have much doubt within himself. He would doubt himself forever. And now he retreats to his home to isolate himself because he was rejected on a larger scale, on a bigger level, right? Rejection is hitting him in his face. That's why he becomes lonely. That's why he becomes isolated, because he don't want to recognize, and he failed to recognize that he is a weak man. Like, the man that isolate himself, the man that, and I'm just talking about on a level where he avoids conflict, or the man that don't want to resume, or resolve any type of problems, because his last word should be honored. But now he meets a woman that, because he want her to meet all of his expectations, and now she's let him know, listen, I can't give you what you want. Right? When men say, when men have the nerve to tell a woman like, oh, I want you, and they don't think that that's a sense of entitlement. And then when they tell the woman that they want them, and the woman reject them and be like, listen, I don't have nothing to offer you. I can't give you what you're looking for. I'm not willing to give you what you're looking for and what you need. I don't want to fulfill that need, not me. I know what you want. You just told me what you want because you said it. Thank you for, expressing your true thoughts, and thank you for being open and honest. But no, I don't want to be with you if I have to be loyal forever. I don't want to be with you if I have to respect you forever. I don't want to be with you if you have to lead all the time. I don't want to have to be the one responsible for granting you peace. And you using all these words under the guise of obedience, right? So a woman probably just come out and say, no, I'm not granting you none of that. I don't obey. I'm not a submissive woman. I'm not a subservient woman. I don't bow down to men. Men are not special to me. I respect men, how they present themselves. Some men are very disrespectful, and they can be very, threatening and scary at the same time, especially the disrespectful ones. But can you imagine being a man and you are viewed as disrespectful just because a woman rejected your advances? Or can you be a man, getting to know a woman and she don't check off your box, because those 4 things are not checked off, and because you don't want to come out and say, listen, I want an obedient woman. I need a woman to listen to me. I need a woman to obey what I say, obey my rules. Don't share any of her thoughts. Don't challenge me. Do not have a opinion of your own. Don't share your opinions with me. I don't want you to have no emotional attachment towards me, but I still want you to be my girlfriend. How does that make any sense at all? This is why men will remain lonely, is because their way of thinking is very corrupt and just distorted. They don't know how to separate fantasy from reality, right? Once they realize that women are thriving and women are not giving it a second thought as to if she wants to be with a man or not, then they'll realize that, yeah, it's not us, it's not the women that's making us lonely, it's not the women that's threatening our manhood, it's not women that's making it hard for us, it's us, it's ourselves, it's our own harmful, hurtful thoughts that we have running in our heads, like a mile an hour. I can give you an example. I know a lot of guys, and I have different, and I interact with them all differently. And I'm up I'm at a place where, no, I don't want relationship, not anytime soon. I'm not going to go out there searching for a relationship. I don't, of course, I want the like comfort or company of a man, but I'm not going to be desperate to go out there and look for the comfort of a man to soothe my needs. And there are not too many men out there like that will lick your wounds at the end of the day. Say if you had a hard day at work and you just having a day, a moment, and you just want someone to at least talk to and have that outlet where you can go and feel comfortable and just, have your man lick your wounds. That I haven't met a man like that yet, where he is willing to lick my wounds at the end of the day, even if I had a tough day navigating through these tough New York City streets. And New York City is tough. You're going to meet quite the different people. But and that's why I don't view men as special. And this is why I tell men I have 18 boyfriends, because I won't treat all of them the same at the same time. No one is special to me, right? Men want to feel special. They want to feel like they're wanted and needed and that they're the only one. And there are women like me that don't make men feel this way at all, because men have to realize that, listen, you are not the first one she's going to call, or she don't even consider calling you in her time of need. So men have this idea that women are supposed to stick to one man and one man alone. And that's it. When she meet a guy, they supposed to wrap it up really soon. They not supposed to take any, get to know each other. They supposed to just dive head in first as to locking each other down. And that's not something that a lot of women want to do. They want to have their freedom. They want to have the option to go and come as they please. And men are not comfortable with this idea. Because there are women out there that will put themselves in the center themselves and appear before men as if they want to be chosen and wanted. Like, you have women that were given to these demands of being loyal, respectful, following a man lead, giving him peace, only to come find out is that he lied to you and he manipulated you, and he used the oldest tactic in the book that he can possibly use to appeal that he's serious and he wants something serious. And you as a woman, you give into his demands. You don't think it's harmful or hurtful. But what he failed to realize and tell you, that what he really mean is that all he seek and all he want under these terms of loyalty and respect and lead and being and leading and peace is that he wants your obedience. So now you are here, the perfect woman that he idolized you to be, that he dreamt of you to be, and now it's live. Now it's like he's living in a reality. He's meeting the reality, because it's no longer a fantasy. And the woman, she really don't know what she's getting herself into. So she take a slight turn and she disobeyed his requirements, because these are requirements: being loyal, respectful, being a leader, and peace. These are requirements that the men present to women, and that women have the slightest idea of what he's really talking about. So, women go into it thinking that they're going to be like, his one, or be different or be special. But once they take the wrong turn without knowing, now the man is holding something against the woman. And now the woman is left heartbroken, hurt, confused, upset, sad, because the male that didn't accept her for who she is, but he wanted her to accept him for who he is, now she's hurt because he was dishonest. Like, I feel like I know that women are met with dishonesty. They should at least consider, like, if a man present all these requirements to you so soon, and that you're supposed to follow them without getting to know this man, that he's dishonest. When a man lay out his requirements, when a man lay out his wants and needs so fast, so soon, without observing or getting to know a woman, he's being dishonest and deceitful. And I know a lot of guys that are dishonest and deceitful. And the reason why I know that is because I observed them before diving head in first, right? Of course, we have our moments where we're like, okay, no, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to take him too seriously, because maybe I can be the one that's judging a little bit too quickly. And maybe I'm the one that is not giving him the chance to, like, us getting to know each other on a different level, right? So you give him a chance, you get to know each other, and you all of a sudden are being met with hostility, anger, and aggression, because maybe that one day you interrupted him from talking, or maybe that one day you were trying to give him some healthy advice or guidance, or maybe you just challenged something that he said that didn't make any sense, right? Or maybe you was just challenging him and asking him questions to at least be on top of things, like, listen, are we together, right? And he said, yeah, we together. And then you have you probably suspect or have a feeling, or probably just know that he probably is stepping out or seeing someone else. But you want to check in. You want to be like, are we good? Is everything good between us? Are you cheating on me? It's all it takes is one time is to question a man about, is he cheating on you, women? Only one time. That's all it takes. And now you're questioning him, challenging him with all these, like, foreign ideas, and something that he know that is coming, but he didn't expect it from you, because you agreed to these terms. You agreed to these requirements and rules, and now you broke them because he wasn't so honest with you. He was not so he wasn't that honest to say, well, listen, just be obedient, don't ask me no questions, don't do none of that. You just sit there and act like you don't, see what I'm doing, and you turn the other cheek, you turn the other head. And he wasn't that honest. He just made it seem like he was into you more than you was into him. And now the woman is left hurt and bruised and broken, because she don't know what she did. She thought she was being a good woman, providing for him all his wants and needs, taking care of him emotionally, and all the things that men require to be taken care of, without returning the favor. Because now he met her, and now that she started to not fulfill his expectations, it's a problem. It's not something that he thought would happen. And now she's confused as to, what did she do? You didn't do anything. You just didn't. He just wasn't honest with you and open with you about what he really wanted. He made you to believe that if you were all of these things, that he would commit to you. But in the process of you committing to him and honoring all of his requirements and his wants, needs, and desire, you strayed a little bit, but you don't know what you strayed from. You probably just asked him a question about something he told you, and he wasn't expecting you to question him, because you're not supposed to question him. You're supposed to let him do whatever he want to do. If he's hurting or harming you, you're supposed to forgive him. And this is why men will continue to be lonely, because of the way they think. If you're the type of man that think women are supposed to be like this, and that's how women are, and that's how women were made to serve your needs without you returning, without you reciprocating, you're going to be lonely. And I don't feel bad for the men that are lonely that have these beliefs. You stay lonely, you stay away from women, far, far, far away from women as you possibly can. Because if you're going to sit at home thinking that things are going to change and you're going to go out there and be deceitful and dishonest and meet a woman and think she's supposed to like definitely fulfill your needs because that's what you are required to do. That's because that's what she's required to do, and she don't meet your needs or your expectations, unrealistic expectations. You're going to be lonely forever. And that's something that men have to live with on their own. Change your way of thinking, get rid of these horrible beliefs that you have about women. Women are human beings. We function in this world just like you. We operate in this world just like you. We are doing things totally different from you. Like, men will say they don't like independent women, but then you have to ask them, like, what do you mean by independent? But what you need to start asking men is like, so do you want a woman to be dependent on you? Do you want a woman not to think for herself? Do you want a woman to not do things for herself? Do you want her to be solely relying on you because you don't want her to have any type of independence at all, right? And that's what men need to start thinking about, how weak they are. They are weak. And this is why they will be lonely forever by themselves if they don't become and improve upon themselves. I know, and when I say weak, men are weak in more ways than one, ways that can hurt and harm them and hurt and harm the relationship that they are in. Right? So I'll give you an example before I go. If you are a man and you are seeing a woman and y'all been seeing each other for a while and y'all committed to one another, you have made and laid out the rules of what to expect from each other, no cheating, let's keep us up to date with one another, be honest and open with one another. Okay. Now, deep into the relationship, a man has a moment and he cheats. You're weak. I'm not, listen, cheating is cheating. It depends on a woman who want to accept it and can move on from it after he cheated. But men that feel that it's in their nature to cheat, or it is that they birth given right to cheat, are weak. Men are weak. If it's that easy for a man to sleep with another woman because, he lied and say, oh, she seduced him, she enticed him, she persuaded him, and not take the blame for himself, he is weak. Any man that cheats is weak. I'm sorry. Any man that is dishonest is weak. Men are dishonest. Men don't keep it real. And they are weak. Men are weak. Once women realize that men are weak, you would think twice about, oh yeah, men will say that men are supposed to cheat. Like, it's okay for a man to cheat. Like, instead of them saying that they are weak and they don't have any type of like control or discipline and let it be known that they are weak, you're going to be lonely, right? A lot of men don't cheat. I believe that when women and men say that all women, I'll leave it at this. If you have this idea in your head and you think that all men cheat, then you're weak. Then all men are weak. If all men cheat, then all men are weak. Right? I could see I'll probably, we're together and a man cheat and he gets sloppy with it and I find out about it or he tells me, first of all, don't let me find out. Like, if you cheat once and you got away with it because you was drunk and you protected yourself and it was a one night stand, okay, I could understand that. I never find out about it. You never told me it was a one night stand. You both used protection. You both had fun that night. You went your way. She went her way. Okay. I wouldn't consider that cheating, but you cheated yourself. Like, but I wouldn't know that you cheated because I had no idea. But if you're the type of man that is willing to cheat once and then twice and then three times and then keep cheating over and over again, you are most definitely weak. There's no excuse for you to be cheating and for the woman to find out, or there's no excuse for you to be cheating and you continue to cheat. You're weak. The first time you cheated, you were weak, right? The second time you cheat, the third time you cheat, you just became weaker and weaker and weaker. There's no excuse. Once men realize and be honest and confront that issue, that they are weak and they need to change their way of thinking, they need to just change their way. They should hopefully want to change their way of thinking and become less weak. They will be less lonely. Once men learn how to develop healthy, social, normal interactions with women, they will be less lonely. And it doesn't even have to apply to women. Once men realize that they are not superior, that they are not special, and they don't just have things granted and given to them just because they are men, they will be definitely less lonely. Once men realize that if you want a healthy relationship, once men realize that relationships are healthy and are meant to be healthy, and you would definitely be less lonely. Once men work on the fact that they should listen and value the opinion of a woman and that she can at least and that's another thing. Once men realize that they can be taught from a woman can teach them, they will be less lonely. Men, you have a uphill battle. It's not easy to, and for women too, we are not exempt. But women are not being lonely. We're just lonely because we know that, we're just not going to, at least I'm not just going to settle down for any man because he's a man, because he appears to be a good man on the outside, good looking, dressed nice, but deep down inside, he's just a hateful person. And whether he like ugly women or pretty women, he treat all of them like shit, right? I'll leave it like this. I know a woman, and she was telling me about how she know a guy that, yeah, he's not a good father. I mean, no, he's a good father. He take great care of his kids, but he's just not a good husband, and he's just not a good boyfriend. So you mean to tell me that this guy that's a good father, which I believe, okay, is not a good boyfriend, is not a good husband, but he's just a shitty person, right? So no woman is safe. That's why when men talk about they have a type, I feel like they mostly are lying, because men will sleep with anything. Like, men will treat you like shit whether you're pretty or ugly. So it doesn't matter if you have a type or not. And if you do have a type, and a woman that's interested in you and you're not interested in her and she's not your type, that does not give you a reason to treat women like shit or disrespect a woman because you're not interested in her. And I believe once men realize that women deserve the same amount of respect without the obedience that men want, they will at least have a winning chance of being recognized as a decent human being. And it's not easy. I'm going to come back later on tonight. This is like, I just wanted to warm up the live. It's early. What time is it? 1:11. And it's time for me to get off of here. I'm going to continue to talk about men and highlight women. I love women. I'm here for women. I support women. I encourage women. And this is what my lives are about. It's not about me bashing or hating men, which men, there are a lot of men that are unlovable. There are men that, feel unlovable, and that's okay. But to say I hate men as like a whole, I'm just talking about generally, not individually. I don't go around like staking or preying on men because I have a dislike or prejudice towards them. I treat everyone with respect, kindness, and decency, no matter who you are. And men should do the same. Treat everyone with respect, no matter who you are. no matter if you like the woman or if you don't like the woman. You should have that human decency inside of you. And men are not human. I mean, well, they are human. They just don't have the human decency to treat women with respect. And are they too lazy to find out that women are human beings just like they are? Until then, men will be lonely and you will be miserable. You know, you'll cover up and mask who you are for the rest of your life, and that's sad to do. Open up, open up. Think a little bit different. Think a little bit clearer. Women, it's not women's job to come save you. It's your job to be mature enough to, because if you can't think straight, if you can't think outside of the box, if you can't think or see things from a different insight and perspective, you can't value someone with a difference of opinion or disagree with someone and you still can be friends, yeah, you definitely have a long journey ahead of you. Open up, think a little bit differently, read a little bit more books, do something different, take risk. Anything you do should not be hurtful or harmful to anyone else. Anything you do should not be hurtful and harmful to yourself. And with that being said, men, you will be lonely until you learn how to listen to women and respect women and not lie to them and deceive them, because you have your ego and masculinity to protect, because the mask protects it, like it shields the mask shields the masculinity and the ego from a lot of hurt and heartache. You could get your heart hurt, and you could get your heart hurt too. You are not special, right? Sometimes you need her to realize that you are a shitty person. If you don't want to be a shitty person no more, come back to my live tonight to listen to me rant and rave. But, you know, it's grown and sexy talk. I want everyone to have a great day. Let me see. Oh, I went over one. Oh, let me get off this right now.